Hey, it's your professional sarcastic man and seeker of attention, Ozcris, here with reviews on Captain Marvel #1 and Web of Venom, Venom Unleashed #1. So we'll start with old can't smile. Captain Marvel, her 8th relaunch in so many years. Hooray. So let's see who's the creative team on this one. The creative team for this new Captain Marvel. So writer is Kelly Thompson, artist Carmen Carnero, colorist Tamra Bonvillain. And okay, so that's the new creative team for Captain Marvel. Those two, Thompson, Carnero, and Bonvillain. So born to a Kree mother and a human father. Well, that was a recent retcon. Former U.S. Air Force pilot Carol Danvers became a superhero when a Kree device activated her latent powers. Now she's an Avenger, and Earth's mightiest hero. Re-entry. The past year has been difficult for Carol. Yeah, because no one likes her. Her brother suffered a life-threatening injury, and Carol stepped down from the Avengers and Earth's space defense program Alpha Flight to care for him. Then a Kree assassin attacked her family home and killed her mother, who had been hiding her identity as a Kree warrior from Carol all this time. Now, with her brother recovered and a better understanding of her own history, it's time for Captain Marvel to take flight once again. So that's the main premise of her new relaunch series. So I will say, I do like the art. The coloring isn't actually that bad. It's actually pretty good. So starting off, we have Carol and Jessica Drew Spider-Woman fighting off against hentai. Sorry, a giant kraken, a giant-looking octopus. Before Carol leaves to have an interview with Tony, she needs to kind of, according to Tony, since she's now an Avenger again, she needs to reaffirm her presence back on Earth because a lot of people have forgotten her. I wish she would have just stayed forgotten, to be honest. So kind of how would I say this? A popularity boost in a kind of way, or get people to remember who Captain Marvel really is, not the Carol Danvers we've been suffering from years. Just anything to get rid of Civil War II Carol Danvers, I'm okay with. That was peak terrible for Captain Marvel. Civil War II utterly destroyed her character in that event, and she's beginning to restart her relationship with Rhodey as well, and then she is attacked by Nuclear Man before she can get conduct an interview with what's her name? Ripley Ryan. Ripley Ryan is there to conduct the interview. It is put on hold because Nuclear Man attacks them, and as he flies off with a hostage, Carol goes in after him, and that is the main story of issue #1. So, honestly, it wasn't a bad start to the series. This issue #1, I actually kind of liked it a bit. I'm gonna see how issue #2 goes before deciding if I actually want to fully commit to the rest of the series. So it had a pretty good start. Kelly Thompson is an actual good writer. I've read Mr. and Mrs. X. That's actually a really fun, good series as well. So is Carol in capable hands? We'll see. This is only the first issue. If I have problems with this, my main problems with this would be it could have definitely cut back on a lot of scenes. A lot of the dialogue could have been cut as just pretty much all of the Tony and Carol scenes, get rid of. They really kind of serve nothing to the plot. It's just there. It's you're an Avenger and you're back. We need to get people to like you again. Get people to remember who you are. It's just get rid of that. This easily could have just been a $3.99 comic. Just cut or edit the Tony and Carol parts, and it would have been fine. And Carol has a line where she calls Nuclear Man a misogynist. I don't how he acts. I don't really feel like he comes off as misogynist. He just comes off as more of a douchebag. He has a couple lines to say. You can help by she says. So can I help you with something? And he replies with, yes, you can help by bowing down to me, by prostrating yourself before my magnificence. And then another one, he reveals another part of his powers. The will-weakening ray works on all comers, though it is most effective on the frail and easily persuaded female species. Okay, I can kind of see how it comes off as misogynist, but I feel like it's more douchebag. He's more full of himself. Thinks he can get with all the ladies. I don't really see it as like full-on misogynist, just more full-on douchebag with Nuclear Man. But that was only really like, if there was a cringy part, it was probably that. But that was like the only part, and that was at the end of the comic. The rest was good, or just the Tony and Carol parts. So an actual good start. I'll see how the second issue goes. But this could have been better. Like I said, cut out a bit of the dialogue. Make it $3.99. This cover though, the cover's alright. The face though, nightmare fuel. That is nightmare fuel face. Are they trying to compensate for the fact that Brie Larson doesn't smile in any of the Captain Marvel trailers? It's a good cover, but the face. I will have nightmares of this face now. Thank you, Marvel. Yeah, who did the cover? I think that's a Connor cover, isn't it? Cover art, Amanda Connor and Paul Mounts. Yep. Yeah. But that's it for Captain Marvel. We're going to definitely the best of the two, Web of Venom Unleashed. Number 1. Well, it's a one-shot, so it should just be Web of Venom Unleashed. So, surprise, surprise, Stegman is actually writing this one. Yes, so we got Ryan Stegman as the writer. We got Kyle Holtz and Juan Gedeon as pencilers. Mark Deering, Scott Hanna, Livesay, oh, that's their name, Livesay, okay. Roberto Poggi, Victor Olazaba, and Juan Gedeon as the inkers. And Dan Brown, Matt Yaki, Andrew Crossley, and Carlos Cabrera as the colors. So, Venom Unleashed. After an incredibly straining conflict with a monstrous symbiote dragon, the Venom symbiote no longer has a personality or a voice, if you've been reading Venom. Instead, it is an amorphous alien organism responding to the subconscious impulses of its host, Eddie Brock. However, in spite of its silence, the symbiote has tampered with Eddie's memories and led him back to his childhood home of San Francisco. As Eddie searches for answers, Venom has transformed into a hulking dog in order to keep its host safe. So, I'm definitely going to say, I love the art in this. The coloring is great. Works so well with the atmosphere and the setting of the comic. So, starting off with the story, all of these kind of possessed people that are just saying Eddie's name and his room number are coming for him, but Venom Dog, I'm just going to refer to him as Venom Dog. Venom Dog is there to protect him and goes to hunt down the cause of this. And as he's going past all of these possessed people, they're saying names like Gargan, Mulligan, Diego, Donna. So they're all talking about people that have been Venom or have had connections to the symbiotes or had symbiotes of themselves. So Venom Dog goes after it, and damn, there's just a lot of there's just great, just creepy, terrifying parts of just Venom Dog being an absolute menace. Just hunting down what's causing all these possessed people, these possessed animals as well. And the thing about this is that there's hardly any dialogue. Like almost 3/4 of this comic, there's hardly dialogue, and it's still a good story. You see, you don't need dialogue to progress this story. Marvel. I should correct that. You don't need too much dialogue to progress the story, Marvel. So going through there, Venom Dog, is investigating. It has connections to Null, as you know, with the swirly symbols that the symbiotes used to have, and which Venom had when it was having connections to Null as well. And it turns out, I'm going to spoil it. I'll spoil it a little. It's a pretty good book. You should read it anyway. I'll spoil it a little. It's Carnage. Carnage is doing this. He's creating all of these possessed people to go out and look for all of the hosts of the symbiote, people that have had connections to the symbiotes, etc. And that is all. Damn, this was great. I really, really liked this. Definitely probably my favorite of the week of comics. Web of Venom, Venom Unleashed, and Stegman writing it. As you know, if Cates ever decides to leave, Marvel, you've got your replacement there. This guy right here, he can do a good job. He can do a job as good as Cates has been doing on Venom. So that is it for these two. Captain Marvel #1. Web of Venom, Venom Unleashed #1. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.